Hey guys, Max 2015 here. We're back for another late night episode of Boom Beach here. I'm currently playing, still pushing, still playing. And to be honest, it wasn't my intention to record tonight because I was kind of tired after work. But I got a couple of good replays that kind of just made me jump out of the bed and be like, you know what? Let me just share some of these guys with you guys. Right now, from what you can see, this is the setup where I leave my base when I'm pushing. Two reasons for that. Well, one is we'll get a comment there. The first reason is so that to kind of tease people to think that they can just come in and attack my base, but I'm online, so they're not going to be able to attack me. The second one is because everything is laid out neatly, so you guys can see all my defenses and the buildings that I have, along with the shield generator, so the prototype weapons that I have. You guys can see I have all four of my my offensive statues boosted, and I also switched back to another troop damage. I don't know if I mentioned that to any of you guys, but I did. I reclaimed the troop health 14-piece guardian that I had because I felt like it wasn't doing too much for me, and I just put down another 13%. Also, another thing that I didn't mention yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, after like 2 years of finally grinding through power stones non-stop, and I mean really pretty much non-stop, I finally got a 34% troop health masterpiece. The previous one that I had was 32%. 35% is perfect. So I'm 1% off from perfect, but you know what? After being pushing for 6 months now, we're actually going into half a year with this push. I have been doing the whole thing with only 32% troop health, so a 34% was really welcome. I should have mentioned that in the previous video, but anyhow, it's never too late. All right, so let's get. It's just all replays right now, guys. I didn't have a chance to record live, like I said. I wasn't planning on recording, and it's been tough tonight. Look at all these fails in here on these bases. Fails, like 10 fails per base, 4 fails on the other one. I mean, it's been pretty crazy. However, the great thing is that no matter how many times I fail, I finally figured a way to destroy these bases, and that's exactly what I wanted to show you guys. So first base here is Tepi 2004, 1,259 victory points. Corner base, if I remember correctly, he has 6 ice statues. No, I'm sorry, 5 ice statues, 4 of them boosted. They're all behind the trees right there. There's one here, and there's the other one right there. And the masterpiece is obviously over here. Anyhow, corner base with a shield generator and the shock blaster on the side there. It was really tricky, mainly because of the positioning of these 2 boom cannons there. The problem with that is that I couldn't shock the 2 boom cannons simultaneously, and every time those things came out of shock or my critters died, the boom cannons would just start picking up on my heavies, one-shooting them. And you know what? When your heavies drop off so quickly, especially when you have 3 rocket launchers and a shock blaster, everything laying down on your heavies, the heavies just do not last, especially when I only have 1 troop health masterpiece, as I showed you guys before. So let me just pause for 1 quick second. So ordinarily, I would always kind of try to reflare to the mortar here, but I just kept on failing, so I had to find a different alternative. Then I started smoking to where this machine gun was and tried to flare to the mortar or to the other machine gun, and I kept on dying. So the very last try, this one where I was successful, I smoked to the very corner where you guys see them, and then I flared to that one machine gun on the other side of the HQ. And what that did is it stood all my heavies. You guys can see all of my heavies are on this side, on the left. I'll try to put an arrow so you can see. All my heavies are on the left side, leaving all the Zukas in the back there, which kind of just protects all of my Zukas. Because the problem with that is that all the mortars around would just lock on my Zukas and just kill them. So throw some critters, shocked around as much as I could, but man, this attack actually worked out really beautifully. You can see I have almost the entire majority of all of my Zukas just pummeling at all those defenses in there. So I was super excited when I finally got him down. I really thought I was gonna time out and not be able to attack this base anymore for the rest of the night. But then luckily, I was able to finally figure it out. I mean, you can see how my heavies are starting to drop like flies already. But no matter, I have a gazillion Zukas just shooting at that HQ. So you know what? If I needed it, my Zukas could have probably kept on shooting for another 2 or 4 seconds. So even if he had an extra troop health, building health guardian, an additional one, I would have still been able to take him down, I think, as long as I kept the same strategy. So that was Tefi's base. Then the next base, this guy, CS something, he's been on my map since the day before yesterday. Yesterday I attacked him so many times up until the point where I timed out and I wasn't able to attack him anymore. But look at this base. Surprising, this was so deceiving. I attacked this base with Heavy Zuka, RZCM 3311 or 3221 ratio, and nothing worked. I even attacked with TRM and Skanks, because I never use Skanks, so I use Scorchers and Tanks, and I just kept on failing. And the crazy thing is that this base only have 4 ice statues, only those 4 freaking ice statues boosted in there. But the problem was that one laser beam just kept on killing everything, and then the boom cannons, because they were all placed so close together, those were just killing all of my tanks. So I finally figured a way to do it. I mean, I cannot believe that I actually got it done, because that was crazy. I thought I was so frustrated, but I refused to refresh the base though. There's no way, I couldn't accept the fact that I couldn't beat a base with 4 boosted ice statues only. So what I did was take down the 1 rocket launcher, and the problem was that I never smoked my troops on the beach. I'm not used to it, but this time I had to do it to try to keep as many as possible. Because the shot launchers were so close to the beach, every time I deploy my troops, those things would just fire up and start shocking my troops immediately. So I pre-smoked the beach, and you guys can see I barely lost any troops on my way up there. I chose to park them right next to the 1 rocket launcher, so they'd be at the blind spot, so they wouldn't be shooting at me. And then I would throw some critters, and obviously shock the 2 mortars and the 1 laser beam in there, and then threw another shock on the remaining rocket launcher, critters right on the HQ to distract the shot launchers, and then just kind of let the troops explode out of there. I mean, this wasn't the first time I thought about doing this, but I was just smoking my troops to the wrong spot, and it took me a while to finally figure out where they needed to go. And then once they spread it out, and you guys have heard me say this many times, if you can get RZCM to spread out a lot, then you're usually okay. And you can see the Zukas are pretty much making a 180 all around the base here now. So that would really confuse the shot launchers. And since they were getting me more and more gunboat energy from all the buildings here in the bottom right, I kept on getting enough to keep on throwing critters right on the HQ. So that really worked out for me. I mean, it was so good, and I was just so happy I finally got him. This was probably one of the most rewarding bases I've ever attacked. No joke. Even though it was only a 4 boosted ice, it really was rewarding. Because it took me so long to figure it out. And you're sitting at home probably watching me and be like, dude, you're such a dumbass. You could have done that earlier. But you know what? Sometimes you kind of just go into a base with a predetermined plan, and when that plan doesn't work out, you can just keep on going and trying the same thing, and it can be very frustrating. So, you know what? Anyways, my point is that I just kept on trying. It took me 2 days, mind you, to take down the base. But anyways, finally got him. Mesam here. Funny thing, this was a base with 8 ice statues. 8 of them, 3 of them boosted. But the lucky thing here is that his 1 prototype weapon expired. I guess whatever was behind the HQ here, I don't know if it was a laser beam or a shock blaster, it expired. So it basically had only the shield generator, which worked out really well for me. Ordinarily, with my 4 offensive statues, I will never attack a base that has 8 ice statues, because that's just a lot of boosts with 3 of them boosted. Anyhow, I took down the 2 rockets, and then put down all my troops in the corner, take down the 1 sniper tower for an additional 3 gunboat energy, and then smoke them right there between the shot launcher and the rocket launcher. Again, I picked that spot because, you know, the majority of my troops would be around the blind spot of the rocket launcher. The problem is that after throwing the 4 smokes, I have absolutely no gunboat energy. And I really wish that you guys could see the gunboat energy usage on the replays, but unfortunately not this time. So all I could throw was just a 1 medkit. So I didn't even know if I was going to be able to pull it off, but the 1 medkit, I guess, was enough to keep my Zukas alive from that 1 rocket launcher. And once I got enough gunboat energy, I just threw a shot right on those 2 mortars, because that's what was going to kill most of my troops. And after that, because he didn't have that 1 shock blaster behind the HQ, I was actually feeling pretty good about it. A big chunk of my troops kind of just started deviating to the back there, so I had to kind of change my game plan. My original plan was to just wear down the entire shield, but because half of my troops were in the back there, whatever I had in the front here was slowly dying, so I couldn't really, you know, keep with that plan. So I had to like rethink. So I reflare them back so they would start moving to the top of the base. And well, you see another flare in 1 second right there. Yeah, I didn't think troops were gonna go back down to the HQ, so I had to reflare yet again using more gunboat energy. And then in here, so the alternative plan was to take down the shield generator itself and then smoke back down. But because I had already spent on smokes before and I didn't have a lot of gunboat energy, I couldn't really smoke, because after I smoke I wouldn't have anything for like shocks or critters anymore, because I already threw so many. So everything I had here was just saving gunboat energy as much as possible. I think I got enough for one more shock though towards the end. You'll see it. I was waiting for until we got closer to that shot launcher there, right there. That's the last shock I'm gonna throw, I believe. And then just let my troops kind of just take down as many buildings as possible. Oh, we got enough for a pack of critters. I forgot about that. Luckily, the mortars and the shot launcher, they all turned to those critters, buying my troops just enough time to finish off the shot launcher. And then again, you guys can see they're a little bit spread out, which is good because the mortars will kind of get distracted that way. I threw a medkit to see if I could save at least one rifle, which they did, and that bought the Zookas back there a couple of extra seconds. And like I said, this was not the plan that I had gone in with. I came with a plan, but it just didn't execute very well, so I had to just improvise and change midway through it. But you know what? We got the base in one try, I think, or 2 tries, something like that. It didn't take me that many tries. Just 1 try, and we got him straight up. So super happy about that. Now Tin Wong 222 here, another base that I had kept from the day before, and notice that this was the exact same base from the previous one, the one that has they had the 4 ice statues. Everything in the front there with 1 laser beam, and the shield generator way on the left there, except that this guy had a lot more ice. He has 7 ice statues. Of course, only 3 of them boosted. The other one had 4 boosted, so in here it's the equivalent of 5 boosted statues. So the exact same strategy. And once I figured the other one, this time was so much easier. Although this one, I did have to make a little change towards the end, and you'll see it. So I'll take down 1 of the rocket launchers on the left side there. I wanted to take advantage of all these buildings back here for gunboat energy, and that's exactly what I did. So clear some of those mines up there, right on the shore, so I could smoke my troops. So I chose to go right behind the flamethrower in there. So the exact same thing. So pre-smoke, well, not pre-smoke, but smoke the beach as soon as I put down the landing crafts. I do it that way so I could get a couple of extra milliseconds in there. Timing is essential in Boom Beach. And then smoke them right there where I needed them to be. Reverse smokes, they were a little bit spread out, but I kind of wanted to save as much gunboat energy as possible here. Once we get all the troops, and I really think we got all of the troops there. A couple of them stepped out of the smoke, but you need not to panic. That's the most important thing. And then just throw critters on the HQ to distract the shot launchers, and obviously shock the 2 rockets and the laser beam. And then just kind of let the Zookas explode out. I just realized I lost a crap ton of Zookas to that 1 rocket launcher there. Threw a 2nd shock on the laser beam because that is the main target. I mean, the deadliest target is what I meant. And at this point, I was waiting for these troops to take down that laser beam. I needed that thing to go down. And as soon as it went down, I flared to the very corner there. And I had a pretty good number of troops left. If you guys can see there, I probably had about like 20 something or 30 riflemen and a fair amount of Zookas. I really wish I had kept a couple more. But anyways, it certainly was enough to take down the base, so it didn't matter. Those 3 medics over there, though, I had to smoke them, and I hated smoking anything at this point because it was just costing me a lot of gunboat energy, and I really needed to save it up. But anyways, we smoked to the upper left side of the base, and now the target was to take all those economy buildings along with the shield generator down, and then we'll smoke back to the center. So right there, we just watch the troops go over. Ooh. I woke up with a cold yesterday, and I've been coughing a lot recently, so I hope it doesn't develop into anything worse. Okay, so right there, 1 shock. That was mainly for the flamethrower, because I did the same attack previously, and the flamethrower just kind of decimated all of my rifles, so I had to make sure, I froze that thing this time. So there they go, all the troops. Once I took down the shield generator and the sniper tower, I reflare upwards a little bit. You can go a little bit quicker, nothing much you see here. Alright, right there. And then I needed to get rid of that 1 cannon, because it was kind of pesky in there. And I think I was saving for another shot, 1 last shot for that mortar and flamethrower combo in there. So critters on the HQ, and that's it. The very last shock that I was going to throw for this one game. Obviously, the critters were doing a pretty good job of distracting the 2-shot launchers, while the troops were taking care of that mortar flamethrower combo in there. So at this point, there was nothing else I could do. I think just medkits, because I couldn't afford to throw anything else. But there were already a handful of Zukas shooting straight at the HQ. So yeah, 2 medkits, as you guys can see there. Couple of Zukas, couple of rifles left, but enough to finish off the HQ. And we need one more shot. There it is. So super happy. So both of these bases spawned together. I attacked both of these bases yesterday up until I timed out and wasn't able to attack them anymore. But again, I refused to switch them out because I kind of felt that I could defeat them. I just had to figure out a way to do it, and I'm really glad that I was able to do so today. And then the last base for now, I'm going to keep on playing later, but the last base for this video at least was actually the easiest one of the night, because he had only 2 white statues, both of them boosted, one here and one on the right side there, corner base. But really the positioning of this rocket launcher was pretty awful, because look at that huge blind spot. I could just park my troops there and not worry about him for the entire match. Okay, so I didn't even bother letting my troops take down that one flamethrower in the front there. I just smoked straight to where I needed them to go. I mean, I did lose a couple of Zukas to that one rocket launcher. The smoke wasn't too on point, but it didn't matter. I still had the majority of my Zukas in there. So one last smoke, let all the troops group up in there, and then we'll throw a reflare right next to the flamethrower, and then we're gonna go to the mortar, I believe it was. Oh no, the machine gun. So critters, shock. Obviously, the most important thing right there was to shock the one flamethrower here in the corner, because that could have killed all of my Zukas very quickly. And because this base only had 2 ice statues, even though they were boosted, it really wasn't a big deal. I threw a shock on the shot launcher and boom cannon on the upper left there, and it was just a matter of time for this thing to come down. So it's pretty easy base to close out the video. I mean, the first few bases were just absolutely brutal, and I was, my morale was just dropping like water. So anyhow, I think this video is pretty long enough. I've been yapping for a long time, so hopefully you guys like the video, guys. So we're still pushing. We'll keep on trying every day, hopefully, and we'll see where we end up. Okay, guys. So as always, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Let me know if you're pushing or how you're doing on your game, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, guys. Till then, bye.